Selamat datang ke ASM Podcast yang dibawakan khas oleh Akademi Sains Malaysia. Siri podcast ini merupakan platform perkongsian topik-topik berkaitan sains, teknologi, inovasi dan ekonomi STIE secara santai dan mudah difahami. Setiap episod akan menampilkan jaringan pakar ASM yang akan berkongsi pengalaman dan pendapat mereka tentang STIE seiring dengan etos ASM. Budayakan sains, raikan teknologi, cetuskan inovasi.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, Dr. Fatimah. Thank you for attending our podcast, YSN podcast.
Yes.
So, Dr. Fatimah, can you briefly tell us about yourself?
Yes. I am a mathematician and I am teaching mathematics and I'm doing mathematical research currently at Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia, also known as the National University of Malaysia, and I'm an associate professor. Associate professor ni is not yet a full professor but is slightly more senior than a senior lecturer lah, than a lecturer. Briefly about myself, I like doing mathematics since school, and I think mathematics is a very logical subject. So I feel that it makes more sense than a lot of other subjects. Nampak muka macam tak setuju tu. Okay, tak apa. We can talk about that later, and I think I would like to make other people see how beautiful it is.
You said mathematics is much more interesting than other subjects. Logical. How do you define logical?
Logical, when you already define one as a number and another one as a number, 1 plus 1 is 2. However, if you define it differently, then 1 plus 1 might not be 2, might be 0. Macam binary. For example, 0 and 1. Computers only read 0 and 1. So it depends on your definition. So we have a binary system, for example, what the computer reads. So the computer only use 0 and 1 and it doesn't have to memorize multiplication table because it's only binary. And then our system is decimal system. Decimal is base 10, asal 10. It's logical probably because we have 10 fingers. So decimal system has its strengths, but we have to memorize the multiplication table, for example. So it's logical because it's based on what you define it to be. Macam like chemistry or biology, you have to understand the world, not really sure what's going to happen, but that's why you need the research kan. But mathematics, it's being in your own world, but somehow, Masya Allah, quite magically, the application is very wide and sometimes you can model the real world as well.
That's a nice definition of what is logical is. So, another point of view, what makes you inspire to understand mathematics?
Well, in my book, I wrote a book about mathematics, and then I really thought about this. In my book, I said, maybe because I'm not a good rote memorizer. I'm not very good at memorizing facts without a logical link. So if you suddenly say to me that this certain chemistry is called so and so, if I don't see any logical link between the name and the chemical or the biological reaction, I won't remember it. And especially because, because we are in the English era, so the names are all Latin word or Roman word. So maybe if you know Latin or Roman word, you will understand the root, and then you don't really have to remember. But I'm not very good at memorization. So in the book, I say I even tried to go into Darul Quran, memorize. But I usually need to understand the meaning to memorize Quran. So I fail at that. But I found out that I like thinking and understanding the logical link. So when it's logical, I can remember. So I guess it's because of our weaknesses that you know your strength as well. So when I identified this, I feel like, mathematics, even though not that easy, but if you push yourself to understand the logic, it becomes relatively easy and fun too.
You have mentioned about your books entitled Menjejaki Matematik dari Gombak ke Cambridge by Associate Professor Dr. Fatimah. Could you kindly elaborate about the book?
Oh, okay. So, well, actually, maybe because I get this question a lot of times. Oh, you study mathematics. What do you want to be? Or some say, oh, you're so clever. What a pity you're studying mathematics. They say in bahasa Melayu, sayangnya pandai-pandai ambil mathematics. Orang Malaysia lah. And then this is the reaction I get. And even when I do my PhD from other fields, they ask, what are you doing? Isn't all the formula already there? It's like, well, firstly, humans think about the formula. Maybe Allah gives the hidayah in their head, but humans has to explain the formula to other people. So we have to think about it and make the formula better and faster. So, I want to make other people understand that mathematics is actually behind a lot of things in your life. But it's been behind your life for a long time and you don't realize it's there. It's like the pillar of a building. You don't realize that the pillar is there. Mungkin other people that do the decoration, they see the decoration outside. But the pillar is the interesting thing, and once you lose the pillar, then the building will fall down. And so, mathematics is the pillar to science lah. So, if the student cannot really grasp mathematics or be better at it, I think it would hamper our country's ability to become a developed nation. Because as you can see, it's the developed nation that have top mathematician in the world. Even the mathematician that wins the prize like Fields Medals or Abel Prize usually come from developing country, and now that's China also trying to become better. Even Huawei also try to employ these people in that wins the Fields Medal or anything like this, even though they are pure mathematician. Pure mathematician are people that don't really do applied mathematician, but it's the thinking that they treasure. So I feel that I want to convey all this to the Malaysian society, because it's not your fault that you think like this, because a lot of developing countries also think like this. They say if you're smart, you become a doctor, you become an engineer, you become a lawyer. You can and you should. But you also need people to become mathematician, chemists. You need many different fields. And I think mathematics is underserved in Malaysia. And that's why I wrote the book in Malay. Because the book in English, there is so many interesting books already that I myself benefited from and I read. So I wanted to convey it to my country, the people that can read Malay. That's why I wrote the book.
It is very heartbreaking that I knew that the purpose of you wrote this book in Malay is to make the stakeholder understand, especially for Malay native peoples. What is mathematics is, because as far as I'm concerned, mathematics is not popular among Malaysian.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So I hope with your efforts, there's a lot of initiatives will be done by the government and also by what we call it, many organizations to intrigue the interest of mathematics among the youngsters. So talking about your interest in mathematics, what is your specialization?
Okay. So my specialization is network science and complex system. So for example, networks, recently during COVID, I made a video about how contact networks spread COVID. So how network science, we can use mathematics to detect who is the super spreader. And this video also won award by Dekat Bahasa Kebangsaan by Kementerian Pendidikan Tinggi, and Datuk Nuraini gave me the award lah at the time for explainer video for research. So I was quite happy at the time because a mathematics video won number 1. Number 2 is social science. Number 3 is also social science. Macam unexpected. And using this award actually, that's how I also became the chair of science at media at YSN-ASM last year, 2024, because they thought that I am good at social media. Maybe I'm not great, but I do like creating content and telling stories and doing this podcast. So I think that video helped me quite a lot in terms of that video was adapted from an actual research that was spurred from COVID. Because I love mathematics, I say, because it's underneath everything, whatever happen, you model. So during COVID, suddenly I changed. I was collecting data of my students, who is friends with whom. So I had a friendship network lah. Macam if you have a Facebook network, so siapa berkawan dengan siapa, who's friend with whom. So we had a friendship network. So I said, what if this friendship network is the actual contact network, and you open the university, and then the friends connect with the friends. So we model the potential spread, and we say mathematically, because we already know the network, we can reduce the melandaikan lengkung tu, we can reduce the peak using this mathematical tools. So for example, that is my field, and my field is network. So not only friendship network, social network, there's epidemic spread on network, there's biological network, so many different type of network, financial networks, and behind it is a pure mathematics subject called graph theory, although I do more on the applied side and work with people from other field, even though I didn't really like memorization in biology and potentially even chemistry. There's graphical chemical network as well. So the application of mathematics is, for me, is endless. And people that are afraid of mathematics, they will lose out. Because in any software that you use, there is mathematics underneath. So if you are afraid, kata, oh, you just use lah the software from this whatever university, already top university, you don't want to adjust it anymore, you will be dependent on that software forever. And how can you be the leader if you are afraid to change the algorithm behind the software? So this is the problem that I see in Malaysia. End user mentality. Macam like Mardi, for example, you come up with new product, right? Sometimes in fields, other scientific field, they need the mathematical know-how in order to come up with something that is superior to the current product. But they are scared to go into mathematics, and maybe mathematicians also didn't go out to them and collaborate, because collaboration requires effort. We need to understand each other's research field to a certain extent lah. So this is why I feel that as an applied mathematician, it's very important for me to reach out to other people, and also hopefully through the book reach out to the community as a whole. In fact, because I did that video on COVID-19, I have got some data from medicine department and have got some publication, and hopefully will come up with more accurate modelling for Malaysia.
Based on your feedbacks, I'm assuming that you are a successful woman. So
depends on your definition.
Yeah, based on your experiences, what is the hurdle, challenges towards being a associate professor, Dr. Fatimah?
Associate in terms of gender, you mean?
Everything.
Oh, okay. I think, well, firstly, maybe I have to mention, in the mathematical world, Malaysia and few other countries in Southeast Asia is special because we have a lot of women in mathematics. So when I go to this thing called Heidelberg Laureate Forum, Heidelberg Laureate Forum is where the people that win the prize, like Abel Prize, Fields Medal, come there. It's the mathematics and computer science equivalent for Lindau meeting. Lindau meeting is when the Nobel Prize winner meet the young people. Heidelberg Laureate Forum is where the mathematician and computer scientist prize winner, like ACM Turing Award, all the AI people, they go to Heidelberg. I've been there twice, fully funded by the Heidelberg Foundation. And in the Heidelberg, there is a Lindau lecture. And in the Lindau, there is a Heidelberg lecture. So they work together lah, not just separately. But during that meeting, we had a panel say we have to encourage more women in math and computer science. But I say in Malaysia, we are currently the dominant in the mathematical world. So in class also like 70% female. That is why my data set is very different from data set from all the others in the world, because it's female dominated data set. So in terms of that, I don't know why, maybe females, they
feel like mathematics is more tame, don't have to work with your hand or something like that. Like in fact, I did feel like this because I didn't want to take engineering. I didn't want to do pertukangan semua kan at that time. So I said I just want to use my brain. I want to think. That's why I do mathematics. But you know, we need boys also. Come on, boys, Malaysian boys, do more mathematics. We have to balance our gender ratio up. So I'm really encouraging our girls and boys to do mathematics and computer science if you want, and science in general. So challenges, maybe because I studied overseas. So my degree was in UIA. From the book was from Gombak UIA Gombak, where I did many things. I tertinggal masuk exam lambat lah dan sebagainya, kena marah, nakal jugalah, quite naughty lah a bit. But then after that I went to Cambridge. So that's why menjadi matematik pada Gombak to Cambridge, and then I went to Imperial College to do a PhD in this field that I told you about, network science and complex system. So when I came back to Malaysia, I was the only one in Malaysia doing this field of research. So if you did your PhD in Malaysia, I think maybe it's not easy, but I think it's easier to continue the research that is already done by the professors that already did your supervision in Malaysia. So I see my other friends that did your PhD at UKM or UM, they continue, easy for them. But I had to, well, maybe I can collaborate with them at my former university, but you need to do collaboration at your own university and your own country, and also you want to do things that are relevant to your country. Yeah. So I struggled this first many years when I came back, especially because they just gave me teaching and not so much training. So I felt like if I suddenly had to teach, I didn't want to teach badly, because I teach first year and very big class, and if I didn't do a good job, then it would be their future ruined, which is a double-edged sword lah. If you get a good student, alhamdulillah, but if you don't do a good job, it's on you if they don't perform, right? So I thought, I don't want to think about research lah. I'm going to think about teaching only, because that's where the burden was, and giving back to society was. So I sort of didn't really think about research those first few years. I just did teaching, which UKM probably doesn't like to hear, but I didn't forget it altogether. What I did was I sort of gave a talk to just the department. I say, okay, I'm going to do a seminar on network science. So I'm going to tell them what network science is, and there are syllabus of network science, because it's a new field. So slowly but surely, a few people got interested to do research with me. But it was a slow process lah. So slowly, and there was a mentor in my professor mentor, Prof. Salmi. I think he was assigned to make me do research, because everybody at UKM has a mentor. This is good. So the young ones will be coupled to the more senior ones. They will be coupled, and then Prof. Salmi would usually bring me together. And one day he suggested a topic that I also had some idea. It was related to my field, network science, but it's a bit higher dimension, topology. So together we went supervising a student together. So because I had some supervision before and it didn't work, this PhD student ghosted me. So it wasn't very good times, but I like teaching. I feel like teaching is very rewarding. So I guess at that time I was just more focused on teaching. But on the other side, good that the university gave me a mentor, and that this mentor pushed me a bit in terms of research side. So at this mentor also came to my seminar where I promote myself. So he also understand what I did. Because I did this seminar, I think he was able to suggest a research area that we can work together. After my mentor has guided me, dah supervise sama-sama, you get a good student. So I think my confidence was boosted up a bit, and then seminar on network science become workshop on complex networks and topological data analysis, where I invited my former supervisor to come to Malaysia and also former PhD friends. So it was a big thing because at that time there was a big conference in Singapore. So I told them, come to Malaysia first. I'll drive you to Singapore later. So I didn't have to pay for the ticket. I only had to pay for the transport to Singapore. So they all loved it. They loved the food, especially, bribe them with the food, of course. In Malaysia, that's our superpower, food and our agriculture strength. So I think after that, I began to see the pathway towards becoming a better researcher and balance out teaching and learning.
So, you have a lot of interest and you're so much love mathematics. Who's your idol for among mathematicians?
Professor Hannah Fry. She always does documentaries with BBC, and she's famous on YouTube, on Number File, and she gave talk at Royal Society that is very, very interesting about mathematics. She's so popular in the UK. She comes to like late night TV shows like with artists and sketch. So she is a person that I think, she's also a professor, full-time. She was previously at UCL, University College London. Now she's at Cambridge. I think professor of public understanding or something. Public understanding of science or something. I'm not sure, Hannah, sorry. But she recently moved to Cambridge. And I think she's more or less my age. She's maybe 1 year older or something like that. And she can explain things very well in the BBC documentary and everything. So I, in fact, use her material for my class because I teach history of mathematics. So she explains a lot of history, a lot of mathematical concepts that I ask my student to explain in the class very well. So I use her example for that. She wrote a book also called Hello World. She wrote many books called some very cheeky, like The Mathematics of Christmas or The Mathematics of Love. She has a TED Talk called Mathematics of Love or something like that. So she captures the imagination of the UK, and I think she's also famous too in the US as well. So I think she is somebody mathematics-wise that I want to emulate, and not just research, but also outreach to the world. So, yeah, Hannah Fry. Hi, Hannah. Big fan.
I hope Hannah will reach you. So, all right. How can you foresee yourself in the next 10 years?
Well, okay. Another reason I wrote the book is that I don't want people that do mathematics get the same question like I do or get the same hurdle. Because there is a part in the book where I told the story that I wanted to take this mathematics subject as UIA. The coordinator called me, cakap, your result is very good. You can take engineering, you can even go for medicine. I was like, yeah, I don't want to. They was like, why don't you want to go to engineering and medicine? I was like, I don't like things with my hand. I just want to think. I'm a klutz. So I value thinking more than maybe also because I'm a klutz. And then not only just the coordinator, my senior from school also called me to slow talk. Maybe because they think I'm doing the wrong thing in my life. Become engineer lah, doctor, jadi kaya or something like that. Maybe they are much richer than me, I don't know. But who knows, right? Probably they are. But I said I want to do mathematics, so I had to fight to do mathematics in Malaysia. So when I went to Cambridge, the first thing, ada juga di situ dalam the book, met this guy who helped me carry the bag. He said, oh, you're doing mathematics? Oh, that's amazing. It's very good. You're not just, you're very clever, and the respect is very different. Well, maybe because Cambridge is the home to Isaac Newton, and at that point, the location professor there was Stephen Hawking. So everybody was looking up to them, like mathematics, when you're smart, you do math lah.
Right.
In Malaysia, it's like, why are you doing mathematics? Yeah. It's the other way around.
They can't see the impact.
Yeah, but it's not their fault lah.
Yeah.
Kan, if they had a Hannah Fry ke apa ke kan, maybe they can use me as like an example. It's like, oh, nak buat matematik macam Dr. Fatimah. Maybe. At least if the parents can see this is something you can do. Ada pekerjaan yang yang bagus, yang boleh the future will be secure if you do mathematics, then maybe
parents would encourage their kids to be better with maths and mathematics, take mathematics, or at least just not be too negative to mathematics. So in 10 years, hopefully, if I have some sort of clout in Malaysia, and I plan to write 2 more books, hopefully.
Wow. Good luck.
From Cambridge to London, because I did my PhD in London, and from London to Bangi. Hopefully a trilogy at least. And maybe while promoting the book and doing more videos from the content of the book, or doing more podcasts, I can increase the awareness of Malaysians in terms of mathematics, or mathematicians as a solid career.
As you mentioned, your areas of expertise is actually network mathematics.
Graph theory, network science, yeah.
Graph
networks,
theory and
boleh
network
lah.
science.
Networks.
What is the application of network science or network mathematics in the real world?
Other than the epidemic modelling, you also, this is also told in the book. I did something, I looked at the network between the actors in Malay film. In the book, I also promote sikit lah, because I went to school with Syamsul Yusof. We're the same age. Dia kelas sebelah. So I use his name. Sorry Syamsul, but you can call me if you want the book.
Which school indeed?
Sekolah Rendah Kebangsaan Selayang Baru 1. It's just a normal school. Sekolah biasa.
Yeah.
But at that school, kebetulan Syamsul tu sebaya, and then also ada Serina Rizwan, anak Chef Wan. Kat sekolah tu dengan Abang Nazri, Chef Riz, abang dia. So she was my neighbour. So I used their name in my book to link to a research that I did tentang the actors in the Malay films and how they are connected to each other. So the node of a network is an actor, and then they are connected to another actor if they act in the movie together. Yeah. So these are some of the fun application, but it's not irrelevant, because you can see in my research that was published actually in a Q1 paper, and that there is a link between the movies, different type of movies. And the animation industry also is booming, and there's like also a slightly separate group of animation industry, and there's a few different measures where you can see how diverse the actor is. That's a fun application, but I think also relevant in terms of understanding how we work. And in fact, I use this movie actor to connect myself to the Avengers, which is Iron Man and Captain America. So you can read the book to see how I connect myself melalui Syamsul Yusof. So that's why I had to put his name there, and Serina Rizwan, and like that. So that was a fun thing. But on a more serious note, we use network science to see relationships between bacteria, like what bacteria co-occur in the same place, and then maybe we can see these bacteria actually can thrive better in different conditions. We use network science in financial markets. So one company, for example, Maybank connected to AirAsia, using the correlation and how strong the connection is. So we saw during COVID that companies that so there is a directed network. So sometimes you say when the relationship is directed, so one company causes the other company to change. So during COVID, we see that the companies that causes other companies to change is insurance company. So you can just see it clearly in the market. So maybe maybe say, Mr. Obvious kan, but if we can use this for prediction in the future, if you see suddenly that the insurance company becoming more and more important, maybe it's an indication of recession or something. We also have this type of papers where we try to use the time series data to predict indicator for financial crisis, indicator for flooding, and also for haze. We try to see different type of haze during those hazy times that occur in Malaysia. So applied mathematician, we really want to do things that are local for us, using our data that are relevant to us.
Right. Can you tell us 10 traits of you that make
10?
10.
Banyaknya.
10 traits of you that make yourself today.
10 traits, Maybe I steal some of the traits other people gave me, because when I was interviewed for associate professor, I think they asked external people to review me. Some of the traits that other people put for me is confident, brave, slightly outspoken, because I was in the IUM debate team, UIA debate team. So I was in the English debating team. So I was trained to be proud of being Malaysian, being Muslim. One reason that I was so confident to apply to Cambridge, because I already debated them in debating competitions. So I was like, English speaking country, yeah. So why not? We go to Cambridge. Curious. I'm very curious. I think as a researcher, you need curiosity and cannot just believe whatever people tell you. That's why I don't like this end user mentality. We need to become the creators, the innovators, not just the users. And if you innovate, not just at the end innovation, do innovation that really matters. Of course, end innovation also okay, bagus. But then you want changes that are more impactful. What else? Caring, I hope. At least care about mathematics and my field of research and my students and my family. What else? 10 7 lah.
I think it's a very hard question, eh?
Because 10. Maybe you should reduce the number of days. Maybe
Joyful.
I like to be grateful. Because I think as a Muslim we need to be grateful. We cannot say that tak dapat ni, because whatever we get, it's our portion in life. So we need to be grateful. I hope I am grateful. I want to be grateful, even if it's not my trait. I hope in future that I will be more grateful. I'm proud of my country, my religion, my race, my students, my family. I'm proud of YSN-ASM. And traits.
Adventures?
Oh yes, I love to travel. I've been to 45 countries already. So
45 countries?
Not much, but I plan to travel to more. So I like traveling.
Can you share with us which country you have travelled?
Well, okay, because I was in the UK, right? So Europe, a lot of Europe, Germany, France, Austria, Belgium, Arab countries also. I've been to Palestine, Jordan, because to go to Palestine, go to Jordan, of course, Saudi Arabia. I visited, UAE, keliling tu. I visited also Brazil for research purposes. We had a research team, so I was wanted to go to Brazil. Of course, conferences in the States, Australia. Last year I went for a fellowship in Australia. So a lot of European countries there are small countries like Vatican, and then there's Monaco, where there's Monte Carlo. It's very close to it's within France. They call it micro states. Singapore, of course, Brunei, Southeast Asia, Thailand. So I counted up to 45. So I like to see the world, because I feel that every country has something to teach us. Not just me teaching them where Malaysia is, but also giving a good impression of Malaysians and Muslims, as well as learning from them what they are proud of. And culturally, I'm a geek lah. When I go to this country, I would go to museums, take walking tours. I would learn about that country. So I think I am generally a learner. If a description about myself, I like to learn. I don't really mind whatever field. In fact, when I was in school, I like to learn everything. But maybe the limitation of me not being able to memorize sort of made me go into mathematics. In fact, I think mathematics is a good place for somebody who likes to do multidisciplinary, because you can model anything if you have mathematics. Accurate or not, well, depends, but you can try.
What is your hobby actually?
Hobby, It changes. maybe it would be perfect if I said reading books, kan? But
Cliche.
but probably not. I do like to read books, but recently videos have taken over. But when I was in school, masa kecil-kecil, I love reading manga.
Yeah.
Watching animes, and also watching all those Marvel, DC characters. So until now, I actually, up to Endgame, I like Marvel stuff, mostly because I like to imagine, and I wrote a book, right? So I have an active imagination. So I like to be creative. So my hobby previously was to read manga and try to draw the characters, or at least trace the characters, and just imagine the world. But I guess currently my hobby is I like to watch talk shows because I can see how people interact. Or maybe that's why I like to do podcasts, because I feel like humans need to interact, because I'm a network person, right? I can see the power of the network, because through contact network, just one person can spread in the disease to the whole world. But through talk shows or interacting with other people, one person can spread ideas to the world. That's how knowledge spread. Hadis also is a network. From sanad matan, you need to have a person who give the hadis. Only then you can acknowledge it's hadis. So I realized the power of network. So I like to learn how to convey my knowledge to other people. So nowadays, I like to watch talk shows or podcasts. I like to listen how to interact with other people.
Right. Second last question. What is your take-home message for those young scientists or children who have wants to be like you?
Oh, okay. Go to school, identify your strengths and weaknesses, try it out. If you have weaknesses, acknowledge it, and then try to highlight your strength. You try many things, and even if you fail at one thing, just say tak boleh nak hafal Quran kan. There are other things you can succeed in. God has given you many things. Sometimes you don't even realize. So try to focus on your studies. If you have problems with one thing, maybe there's a different way to think about it, and different people to approach about it. And when I was young, maybe I would think that I know many things, but actually older people know a lot of things. So us older people, they may know how to help you communicate with not just your friends, but also if you don't like if you feel you can't talk to your parents, ask your teachers, ask your uncles, ask your aunties. Communicate with people, ask people. Sometimes people realize what you don't. You don't realize that you're not good at this. Other people say, maybe you better at this other one. So ask other people what they think about yourself, and then you will understand yourself better.
That's a very good advice. And I think this is the last question that I'm going to ask. How the viewers are going to reach you, especially to get the book.
Okay.
This interesting book, Menjejaki Matematik dari Gombak ke Cambridge.
Okay, it's sold at Kinokuniya. If you want to go physical book, it's also sold at the shop in Bukit Bintang, but it's also sold on Shopee, Kota Buku. You can use your book vouchers, but you can also contact me personally. If you can find my email on the website, I can also send links to you to buy the book. But I think it's available widely online, and also probably in a library near you, because PPAS, Pusat Selangor, Library Selangor, they bought at least 80 books or something. So maybe they will spread at the library. So even if you don't have money, you can go to Library Selangor. It's free. Hopefully other libraries will buy it too. I heard some other libraries have interest. So libraries, come on, buy my book so you can let the students read. So this is the way that they can contact me and buy the book.
Okay. With that, we would like to thank Associate Professor Dr. Fatimah and all viewers for watching us. Again, thank you very much, and see you all in the next ASM podcast. Bye-bye.